Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Laughing Boy here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a tutorial on the conveyor belt system in Farming Simulator 17. Now here are the main three components that you will be needing. You can find them here. Actually, most of the time, depending on what you want to do with it, you'll only need this one and this one. This one has a very specific use, and I will show you that a little bit later on. Here's the little piece. These two here are the ones that you will need if you're going to use a conveyor system. This one, this one you can use. It depends on what you want to do with it. These two are the only ones that are necessary, actually, depending on what you want to do, because this one picks the product off the ground. I'll demonstrate that in a minute. This one loads the product onto a trailer or a train or whatever it is that you're wanting to load it on. And this one is just a conveyor belt, but there's a little bit more to it. I'll show you that in just a moment. First, I'm going to position this thing. I'm going to use this little tractor here. Now there is one thing that you'll need to understand about these three pieces that is different than the other piece, but I'll get to that. But this first thing I'm going to tell you about these three pieces may be the only thing you need to know to figure out the rest of it on your own. And that is that they are self-driven. This thing, excuse me, this thing doesn't really steer. It can go forward and backwards, and that's about it. But that's, about all that's necessary for it. Okay, you can get in and out of it like any other piece of equipment. I'm going to go ahead. This one, these two steer. They're slow, but they steer. And I can raise it, lower it, and extend it. Oh, see if I can move the stick correctly. See it going, extending and retracting. Okay, I will get into demonstrating that in a moment. This is a catching end, and this is the that's where it goes out and goes on to the next piece. I am going to use this in this demonstration. This piece is, well, it has several things that it can do. Self-driving is the first part. And yes, it can steer. But you notice it has two pieces. One thing it can do is it can lift, it can raise and lower this end, and it can turn this piece. That is one of the most important things. Actually, it can raise and lower this piece as well, to an extent. But this is one of the most important features. You can actually use this thing to go around corners if you want to. And, well, for this demonstration, I'm going to go ahead and do that. going to put it back over here, sort of in line, and I'm going to turn it around. Let's see, I'm going to extend it, which is this one. And then I'm going to turn it. And I'm going to try, well, let's see, I'm going to bag it up a little bit. Swing in there, and you can attach this piece to that one. Okay, and let's see what I want to do. I want to raise this back end. Well, I maybe need to detach from that piece. You want to raise the back end to make sure it gets under this other piece. And then I'm just going to drive this little thing right over here. I'm going to slide that in right under that piece right there. Let's see if I can get it just right. That's there. That's good enough. Okay. After all, this is just a demonstration. Now, what I'm doing here, of course, is I'm raising this so that it will clear whatever it is. I'm going to pull that truck under it in just a moment to demonstrate it. And now I'm going to extend the arm. Now I am not going to attach this piece to that piece. It has a function that can kind of mess things up a little bit. What I'm going to do here is, you see here it says fold belt. I'm going to do that. Pay attention to the tires. And then I'm going to, I can change the angle. And I'll show you what that does. I'm going to hire a worker. And what that does is just, as you can see, it just moves back and forth. You can increase the angle, and the purpose is to kind of put the load, and just kind of distribute an even load. And now I'm going to put this little truck, put this little truck over here. I think I raised that thing kind of high. Good thing you can zoom out. Well, this may not be perfect. Let's pull it in a little bit closer. And to demonstrate the whole thing in action, I am going to dump a little bit of barley here in the storage bin. Now, you notice I'm not dumping it right by that belt. Now, what would happen if that truck wasn't there is, well, I can show you. What will happen is the grain, well, in this case it's barley, will go up onto the conveyor belt. It'll go all the way to the end. It just will not go into the, it won't go into the truck. It won't go off of the belt. It'll come to the end and then it'll stop until something pulls under it. That makes it useful for like, well, for storing things like beets or what have you. I'm not real sure if it's going to work from over here, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to unload right here. Yep. Some of it went up there. Okay, so anyway, apparently that's too far away, but some of it did go up here, and the good thing is all of this is mobile. I do have to actually, like I said, actually have to hook onto this with a tractor to steer it. The rest of this stuff will move by itself. And now on to the last piece, the fourth piece. Now this thing is unique in a couple of ways. One is, well, it is exclusive to beets and potatoes. Two is it has no self-drive function. It has to be attached to a tractor to move or to do at least one of its functions. It only has two. One is the loading bay. I'll demonstrate that. You can use this thing as a loading bay for beets and potatoes, and there is a benefit to that being that that you don't lose any by dumping it on the ground as I'm doing over there. Now the other function though is, well, it's this. Enable pallet creation, and what it's going to do is it's going to run, it's going to throw a little box out back there, and then it's going to run, it's going to fill it up with beets or potatoes, if that's what you have in this thing. And you can then take that box or boxes and load them on a trailer, or take them and just however take them to the market and sell them in that form. I personally just would rather load them up in a tipper, but I suppose that there are different reasons for doing it this way. Now for the loading bay function, just use your tractor to back the thing up to one of the conveyor belts. Just make sure that the left end of its conveyor belt is over the conveyor belt that you're trying to connect to somewhere. It doesn't have to be on the end of it. And then you just block up all the traffic, back your truck up to it, and offload right into the little thing, and it'll run it over there, put it on the conveyor belt, and well, in my case it didn't take all of it, but that was because I had a lot, and it didn't have much room. It didn't have any place for it to go. Anyway, that's pretty much the end of my tutorial for the conveyor belt system and Farming Simulator 17. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. If you did, then please leave me a like. Other than that, I thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. Have a wonderful day. Laughing Boy out.